The 2025 NBA playoffs are finally here. So today I thought, I'm gonna fill out a bracket. What's the worst that can happen? I totally embarrassed myself, but I've done that before on this channel. But tonight we got the Bulls versus the Heat and the Magic versus the Hawks. Now, so I'm doing this before, I see who actually wins the play-in game. So maybe in like 2 days I'll have to redo this video, but who knows? But yeah, we're going to start with the play-in, but look at these seedings, man. So we're going to have OKC versus one of the play-in teams. The Rockets were number 2 versus one of the play-in teams. Oh, also, whenever the playoffs is over and whoever wins the finals and all the awards are out, I'm going to be reacting to my predictions that I did before the season even started. And we're going to see how close I was. I don't remember anything I said, but yeah, that's going to be a fun video. But moving on, we got the Nuggets versus the Clippers, Lakers, Wolves, Pistons, Knicks, Bucks, Pacers. We got some great games. So yeah, let's start off with picking our play-in winners. And let's start off here in the top right here, with the Bulls versus the Heat. Now, who do I think is going to win this game? That's a great question. See, the game is going to be in Chicago, which really helps the Bulls. And what I'm thinking here currently is, will Kobe White be what he has been throughout the regular season? See, basically, all the Bulls need is for Kobe White to score 30 points for this game, for them to advance, to move on. And do I think Kobe White can do that? He can do that. Do I think Kobe White will do that? No. I think he's going to drop like 17. And Vooch is just going to be Vooch. Giddey will be alright. Well, actually, playoff Giddey is garbage, but who knows? He is on a new team, so might spark a new thing for him. But I'm going to go with the Heat. I'm actually going to go with the Heat. I think Tyler Hero is going to drop a 40-piece tonight, so yeah, I'm excited to watch that game. Okay. So it's going to be okay. Now and then we have to do the 7 and 8 for the East. So the Magic versus the Hawks. Now everybody's healthy on both teams. I'm gonna go with the Magic winning this. Unfortunately, I did want to pick the Hawks. The Hawks could win this if Rishache has been going off like he has been. The Hawks could win this. But I'm gonna go with the Magic. So I'm gonna have the Heat versus the Hawks, and I'm going to give it to the Hawks. I think the Hawks will win that game for the 8th seed. So it'll be Cavs versus the Hawks, and the Celtics versus the Magic. And that'll be good for the East. And now we're moving on to the West, where we got the Kings versus the Mavs. Yeah. For the Mavs to win, they're gonna need Najee Marshall to play like he was playing when Anthony Davis got hurt. He was dropping like 25 points a game. Also, shout out to the Mavs. Brandon Williams, dude, I saw him play when they played the Bulls. He's just like, I was shocked at, like, this kid is like good. I mean, he didn't score many. I think he had like 6 points, but he was like playmaking. He was finishing at the rim, was incredible. He was learning from Kyrie, I guess. But yeah, but despite that, I'm gonna go with the Kings. De'Aaron, he left for the Spurs, but they got Levine, they got DeRozan now, Keegan Murray, Valanciunas, who is the play-in. I think GOAT. I think he's been in every single play-in tournament. My buddy told me, Valanciunas. So I'm gonna go with the Kings winning this one. We'll get to 7 and 8. Grizzlies versus the Warriors. This will be a good one. I'm gonna go with the Warriors. This I think it'll go down to the wire, but it really all depends on if Jaren Jackson, if Draymond can guard Jaren Jackson, and I think he can't, but he will be able to a little bit, like enough for the Warriors to win. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Warriors taking the 7th seed. So then we'll have the Grizzlies versus the Kings. And I'm going to go with the Grizzlies easily taking that game. I think Jaren Jackson, no one's going to be able to guard him on the Kings. Especially who's going to guard him? Trey Lyles, Keegan Murray? No. All right, so then we'll have OKC versus the Grizzlies. And the Rockets versus the Warriors. Now let's move on to the picks. So OKC versus the Grizzlies. I think this would be a pretty good game. who? Let's think of the matchups. Ja Morant versus Shea. Neither one is gonna be able to guard the other, or I don't think they're gonna be guarding each other. I'm thinking of 2K matchups. I don't know why, but yeah, Shea's gonna be unstoppable. Ja will be pretty good, but I think Chet can kind of. I mean, no one can limit Ja at the rim, but I'm gonna pick the Thunder to win in. I'm gonna pick him to win in 5, just because the Grizzlies fired their coach. And I don't know why they did that right before. I mean, speaking of firing coaches, we got the Nuggets and the Clippers, and I've actually watched a lot of Nuggets games this year, and they were every single game I've watched was down to the wire, entertaining. And for that reason, I think this with Michael Malone, I think the Nuggets would win in 6. Without Michael Malone, I actually think the Clippers are going to take this series. It really depends on if Zubac can do what he was doing throughout this season. They need him to average like 20 and 15. 20 points, 15 rebounds a game. Because Jokic isn't going to be able to guard him. And, I mean, who's going to guard Jokic? It's the same thing. Jokic is going to have a crazy series, but Kawhi is going to be healthy. He just played like 44 minutes the other day. And then Harden's actually been like really good this season. So I am gonna pick the Clippers, and I think it'll either be I'm gonna think it's gonna be a 7 game series, and the Nuggets are gonna blow the last game at home, and I think there's gonna be like it's gonna be down to the wire, and Harden is gonna like so it's either gonna go 2 ways. Harden is gonna like miss a shot and like thought he got fouled and he wasn't gonna foul, or Westbrook's gonna miss a layup again and then they're just gonna like crumble like they did against the T-Wolves. Speaking of the Timberwolves, we got the Lakers versus the Timberwolves here. Now LeBron did hurt his groin the other day, but I think he'll be okay for this. And I see you guys can see this too. 88% of the fans picked the Lakers. I mean, there's a lot of Laker fans out there, but I'm not one of them. I'm not even a Timberwolves fan, but I'm picking the T-Wolves to win this in 7. I think that it's going to be a great series. Luka back at it again versus the T-Wolves. Will he hit another shot over Rudy Gobert? Who knows? Probably. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great series. Hey, Luka, hit me up. I know a couple of bars in Minneapolis that for some good times, like a dive bar with karaoke is really fun. I give you the addy for that. Probably be there the night before the game, Luca. All right, but yeah, I'm actually gonna pick the T-Wolves. I think Anthony Edwards is gonna have a great series. JJ Redick, his first year as head coach in the play-in, he will lose, and there'll be a lot of questions by the press. He's gonna get mad in the ending presser. But yeah, that's what I think the T-Wolves will win in 7 or probably. I'm gonna say in 6 because they'll win at home in 6. Western Conference. So we have the Warriors versus the Grizzlies. Or oh my God, I'm sorry. We have the Rockets versus the Warriors, and I'm gonna go with the Warriors to win in either 5 or 6. I'm gonna go in 6. I think it's gonna start out. I think the Rockets are gonna take. Oh, no, I think the Warriors are gonna take game 1. The Rockets will take games 2 and 3, and then the Warriors will just win the rest of the games. And I think this is gonna be a great one. I mean, Steph Curry, he's okay versus the Rockets. Rockets are really defensively built. Amen Thompson is just gonna have to clamp up Curry. It's actually gonna be interesting to see if who's going to be guarding who? Will Dylan Brooks be on Butler? Will Amen Thompson be on Curry? We'll have to see what the matchups are. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Warriors to win in 6. All right, moving on to the East, we have the Cavs versus who did I say? The Hawks? Yeah, the Cavs versus the Hawks. Okay, I'm gonna pick the Cavs to win in 5. I think Trae Young can get a sneaky game in here. He is going to be hated by the Cavs fans, I think. Maybe, honestly, I'm going to say 6 games. The Cavs will win in 6. I think the Hawks put up a fight. Really depends on, like I said, Reece Shea. But yeah, DeAndre Hunter versus his old team. Then George Niang versus his old team. All right, yeah, I'm picking the Cavs here. All right, and then we got the Pacers versus the Bucks, a rematch of last year's matchup, first round matchup. Um, so Giannis is going to be playing this year. No Damian Lillard for at least the first game, probably maybe the first two games. And I think that the emergence of Kevin Porter Jr. I don't know if Jericho Sims is going to be back. Hopefully he is back. I mean, the Bucks took the series 3-1 over the regular season. And the only game they lost was because Giannis fouled Halliburton on that 4-point play. That was just nuts. And then Giannis shot up some BS shot. But I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to say in either 5 or 6 games. I'm going to go 6 so they can win at home. Pacers will get like, you know what? I actually think 5. I'm gonna repick. I think 5. I think the Pacers will get one game and the Bucks will just dominate. Giannis, dude, they just don't have an answer. The key for the Pacers is gonna be Siakam. Halliburton's gonna be dishing. Maybe he'll be like 15 points per game, 10 plus assists. But the key for the Pacers is Pascal Siakam. If he can do what he has been doing against the Bucks, then this series will be competitive. But I'm gonna pick the Bucks in 5. All right, now we have the Knicks versus the Pistons, and similarly to the Bucks versus Pacers, surprisingly, the lower seed has had the upper seed's number. The Pistons has won 3 out of the 4 games against the Knicks, but the lack of playoff experience for the Pistons is going to be their ultimate downfall. Jalen Brunson's healthy, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, who's going to be guarding Cat? Jalen Duren, which is fine, but I think Cat is just going to be more like athletic. He's going to be able to get to the rim more on Jalen Duren than like a normal center, just because he can stretch the floor. So the Pistons might run a lot of zones, which actually helps the Knicks because they're pretty good at 3-point shooting. So I'm going to pick the Knicks to win. I think Malik Beasley might steal a game. Cade Cunningham and Malik Beasley will definitely steal a game. I'm going to pick the Knicks to win in 5. And then we have the Celtics versus the Magic. I think it'll be a great series. Every single, you know what I love about this playoffs is that anyone, I mean, there's 2 great teams. The Cavs and the Thunder are amazing teams, but literally any one of these teams, maybe except for a couple of the play-in guys like the Hawks, um, maybe not the Pistons, um, and I would say that not the well, these guys don't matter. Yeah, but I think any single one of these guys can win the finals, which I love, and which it has been. It's been different finals winners these past couple years, and I love that. But the Celtics just won the last one, and they're going to be beating the Magic in 7 games. I think they're going to be it's going to be a 7-game series. The Magic, Paolo will put up a fight. It really sucks that Jalen Suggs is hurt. That really hurts the Magic, but I think they're going to put up a fight. The Magic home court advantage is just it's really underrated for games 3 and 4, and then 6 as well. Okay, now let's move back on to the semifinals. We got the Thunder versus the Clippers, and the Clippers are gonna be regretting getting Paul George from the Thunder. The Thunder Shea is just gonna go off. Thunder in 6, actually Thunder in 5, Thunder in 5, Thunder in 5. Lakers in 5. Okay. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I think the key to this series is definitely going to be Jalen Williams and also Chet. Chet is going to be huge in this series versus the Clippers. I think he can defend Zubac at the rim, and that's going to really stymie the Clippers and what they want to do offensively. Western Conference semifinals. We got the T-Wolves versus the Warriors. And I think it's going to be another great series. I don't know, man. Steph Curry and see, the thing is, they don't really have they don't really have a center. I mean, which is kind of good for the Warriors because they spread the floor with Post and that other white dude. I forget his name. I think maybe it is Post who I'm thinking of. But yeah, I think that and Julius Randle is gonna be good. He's probably gonna guard up Butler. Ant is just gonna go off. I'm gonna pick the T Wolves to win in 6 here, and so we're gonna have a matchup of the Thunder versus the Timberwolves in the West. And now here we have the Cavaliers versus the Bucks. Now I want to see on the season who took majority. I think honestly the Cavs won every single game against the Bucks this year. Yeah, I think so because I remember Donovan. It was a close game and Donovan Mitchell hit a game winner. So the Cavs took all 4 games. Uh, they can they can stop Giannis. The Cavs have the ability to stop Giannis. DeAndre Hunter is going to be guarding Dame because Dame will be back by then. So Kevin, if it's really for the Bucks, if the other guys can get going like Bobby Portis, Kevin Porter Jr., I just don't think they can beat this Cavs defense. I think the Cavs are gonna win in 6 or 7. I really thought this would be a Giannis like legacy run, but I'm just looking at the Cavs defense. I think they're gonna win in. I'm gonna say 7. I'll say it'll be a really good series. They'll win at home for the 7th game. And then the second semifinals game, the Knicks versus the Celtics. This is gonna be a great one. Um, Once again, it's going to be Cat versus Porzingis. I think that's the key matchup. Jalen Brunson is going to be getting like 40 a game, but I think the Celtics are going to win in 7. I'm picking Celtics to win in 7. Just because like Tatum in New York, he's just going to go off every single game in Madison Square Garden. Same with Jalen Brown. Just the Celtics are just a powerhouse. They're one of the other teams. You can throw them in there with the Cavs. The Cavs, Celtics, and the Timberwolves are like the best, or the Thunder are the best teams. And so let's move on to the West. Now we're gonna have the future of the league: Anthony Edwards versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going up against each other, and Rudy Gobert versus Chet, Julius Randle versus Jalen Williams. Alex Caruso's gonna try. He's gonna be trying to guard Ant, I guess. I don't know who else would be guarding Ant on that team. I'm trying to think. Jaden Daniels is gonna try and lock up Shea, which I think he can do that. I mean, no one can really guard Shea, but I think he can put his best effort against him. And then key for the Timberwolves is going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's just been crazy for them, and just for that, I think the Wolves are gonna win this series, and I'm gonna go in 7. Ant is gonna have like a classic game 7. This is Anthony Edwards. This is gonna start off his playoff dominance, his run. So we have the Timberwolves in the finals. Surprisingly, um, without they got rid of Karl Anthony Towns, they picked up Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and they made it to the finals despite all of what everybody thought. Because Cat definitely was the better player for the trade, but they lost in the semifinals. Now we have the Eastern Conference Finals, the Cavaliers versus the Celtics. Now last year the Cavaliers didn't have anybody to guard Tatum or Jalen Brown, and now they do with DeAndre Hunter. They um they picked it up, and I honestly think that I mean the Celtics could run it back, but I want to go with the Cavaliers here, winning in 7. I think it'll be a 7-game series. Everybody at home, or you know what? I actually think it's going to be one of these series where the road team always wins, except for like the last game where the Cavs will win at home. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cavaliers here. They picked up DeAndre Hunter, new coach. They're just gonna be dominant. Evan Mobley he's a better 3-point shooter now, so he's gonna be in the clutch time. I noticed that last year that Bickerstaff took out Mobley in the clutch time because he couldn't shoot, and that really harmed the Cavaliers defensively. Because yeah, so our finals we got the Timberwolves versus the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell versus Anthony Edwards. Um, Rudy Gobert versus Jared Allen. Evan Mobley versus, I guess, Jaden Daniels would probably be guarding him. Or maybe Jaden Daniels would be guarding Mitchell. Ty Jerome's there. Darius Garland is a sleeper. He'll definitely Darius Garland. I'd pick him over Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and I'd say they're about tied. DeAndre Hunter versus maybe who? It's either gonna be Nikhil Alexander Walker or Jalen Daniels, or McDaniels. I'm messing it up. I got football on my mind. But yeah, Julius Randle versus Evan Mobley. Give it to Evan Mobley. Although Julius Randle is a bucket, this is a really hard series to pick. And I'm gonna say that the Cavaliers are gonna win in seven. I'm not doing this tiebreaker. So this is my finals pick. That I actually really like this. So we got the Thunder beating the Grizzlies in five. Clippers beating the Nuggets in seven. Timberwolves beating the Lakers in six. The Rockets losing to the Warriors in six. Cavs beating the Hawks in six. I'm gonna actually change this to five. Oh, that just messed everything up. A lot of game sevens for the Cavs here. The Bucks beating the Pacers in five. Knicks beating the Pistons in five. Celtics beating the Magic. I actually want to say in six. I'm gonna say in six. Little repick. This will be a 7 game series. And this will be a 7 game series. Okay. I like this a lot. So yeah, man, I wonder how accurate I will be. If I'll have to redo this bracket in like 2 days because I got the playing teams wrong. I don't think that really matters. I had one of the playing teams winning, the Warriors winning, beating the Rockets. But yeah, that's gonna do it, man. I'm so excited for the playoffs. Playoffs is the best time of year for basketball. It's just every single game is much watch. Every single game is competitive. All the players are giving their all, and it's just the best basketball in the world you will ever see. So yeah, so that's gonna do it. Let me know if you guys kind of agree with my bracket. Who you got winning the finals? If you got like a sleeper pick, or if you disagree with any of my takes about the players, like who are the key matchups in each round. Probably, I think a lot of people are gonna have problems with I picked that the Timberwolves beating the Lakers. There's a lot of Lakers fans, but also the Nuggets losing here. I think a lot of people are gonna have a problem with that, but who knows? Just let me know. But yeah, peace.